This is the story of the teenager who saw the future, but no one listened. Philo Taylor Farnsworth was just 14 years old when he got the idea for electronic television. He was plowing a potato field in his family's farm in Idaho. There was no school that day because the local school didn't have enough teachers. So young Phineas decided to spend the day working in the fields. But as he plowed the potatoes, he started thinking about the lecture he'd heard from a traveling salesman. The salesman had been talking about how radio worked by sending signals through the air. Invisible signals that could be picked up by anyone with the right equipment. And that's when it hit him. What if you could do the same thing with pictures? That's how Phineas Farnsworth, the farm boy from Idaho, invented one of the most world-changing technologies of the 20th century. But here's the thing, he never went to college. In fact, he only had a high school education. But that didn't stop him from inventing the television. Although he grew up in rural poverty, living in a farmhouse without electricity or running water, Phineas managed to build an early prototype using household items like a potato sack, a coat hanger, and a vacuum cleaner. That invention changed the world, but it came at a cost. Philo Farnsworth's biggest battle wasn't with poverty or ignorance. It was with the corporate giants of his day, like RCA, who tried to steal his invention and claim it as their own. But he fought back, and in 1928, at the age of 21, he filed a patent for an electronic television system. The patent would later be granted to his company, which he named Farnsworth Television and Radio Corporation. But despite being the inventor of the television, he didn't make very much money from it. You see, Phineas wasn't interested in being a businessman. He was interested in being an inventor. He died believing that the television would one day be as common as the telephone, but he never saw that day. However, his legacy lives on. His invention has impacted billions of people around the world and continues to shape our culture, politics, and economies. Today, we take it for granted that we can turn on the TV and watch anything we want at the push of a button. But before Philo Farnsworth's invention, this was unimaginable. It wasn't until many years later that he was recognized for his genius. By the time the television had become a household item, he had already passed away. But that doesn't diminish his achievement. This is the story of the man who invented the future. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.